What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shuggy from Shook Earth Media, and today we're back with Walking Dead, the final season, season 11, episode 10. And just right off the bat, it's an amazing episode. I really like this one, and they're coming hot off the heels of an episode I really enjoyed last week. And here we are again with yet another great episode, so I'm really liking the direction of the season. And we are here at the Commonwealth. That is, this whole episode is Commonwealth. And, part of me's like, I wish we just cut the Reaper thing and just went straight to this stuff, because this is so cool. We start off the episode with, a haunted house scene. And I like the dichotomy, because we're going for the whole, surrealism of the Commonwealth to our cast, and how absurd it feels to be in, like, a normal city in the apocalypse after dealing with all of this. And I like this idea here of the haunted house thing, because it's like, it's such a safe place that they have zombies as entertainment. Now, my only misgiving with it is I feel like I don't think Daryl would want to go in here. I don't think Daryl would want to take the kids in here. I feel like the kids would be freaking out a little bit more. Maybe not Judith. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't have the appeal. It's like, yeah, zombies aren't fun for us. Like, there's nothing fun about this. So that's my only misgiving with the scene. But I do like the scene. The guy comes in, and then Daryl's like, all right, bro. Like, that's close enough. Like, we're good. Any closer, I'm pulling my knife out, dude. Like, it's not gonna end well for you. So I like that. And we have this festival thing going on. And I really like how we have, like, some holiday celebrations. People have masks and stuff. And, we're lost in the crowd. It just feels like the production value really shot up in this episode. And I'm really liking it. I mean, they're really just reusing sets we've already been on. But, I mean, we have so many extras, and they dressed everybody really well, and they got the whole, festival theme thing going on. So it's really, really cool. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And, the Commonwealth as a setting is really interesting for our characters. And in the comic, I remember, like, they went to a football game, and they went to, like, an ice cream place or something, or a cake shop and all that, but I don't know. I don't think we really had a festival like this. So seeing, like, a celebration, holiday celebration, it feels like a really natural step. And I'm liking where we're going with Daryl, how he's, they're training in this episode. We'll get to that. But there's just a lot to really like in this episode. I like that it dropped us in. We didn't necessarily need to have them all debating back at Alexandria, like, do we accept the deal? Do we not? Well, how do we feel about this guy? I mean, clearly there's people who aren't here, so there was some type of disagreement. And I'm curious if we'll go back to Alexandria at some point. I mean, clearly we had Maggie at the hilltop in a flash forward. So a lot of people last week thought that we would pick up right after that flashback, or that flash forward rather, with Maggie and Daryl. But I think that's still off in the future. So I think we'll come back to that. Maybe that'll be like the finale of this part 2. So that's what I would guess. And that's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, okay, we're gonna go back in time. But and here Carol is working at the cake shop. Look, Elodie's treats. I pointed this out in the trailer reaction. But Elodie, for those who don't know, in the comic book, is Michonne's daughter. And she doesn't exist in the show universe, but they had a nice little shout out here to her. And she was essentially the one working at the cake shop in the show. We had Eleanor and her brother working here. The guy who's actually a doctor, which we'll get back to later. I have some misgivings about that. But Elodie was the one working in the shop in the comic. And that was, like, the big plot twist, was that LED was still alive when we got to the comic, and when we got to the Commonwealth in the comic, and we saw all the faces on the board. LED, or was it Michonne's picture was there or something? And I really like that whole dynamic. So LED doesn't exist in the comic or in the show universe. Michonne had a son, and the son is definitively dead. Like, they confirmed that he's dead. So, but I did enjoy the little shout out to Elodie. So I appreciate the respect to the comic series here. And now we get, them going around and exploring the Commonwealth a bit. And we see Pamela Milton, the governor, in the crowd here. You can't really see her in this shot, but here she is. And they added some backstory to her, and I really like this. We have Carol mention that she always thought that she was classy in the tabloids, that she was aware of who she was, and had an opinion about her, and the tabloids are always writing about her. And then we find out from Connie that she's essentially part of a political dynasty. Her father was the president, her uncle was in the Senate, and Connie even wrote an article or released some information that led to the uncle being ousted from the Senate. So there's backstory there. I wonder if we're going to get more into that. I have to think that we will, because in that extensive investigation process that they go through to become part of the Commonwealth, Pamela's not going to forget the journalist that got her uncle ousted from the Senate. So now we'll find out how she feels about that, if she's keeping Connie around to try to provide some legitimacy. My instinct is that a politician would not want somebody like that in her vicinity, that she would do everything she could to marginalize and, control what Connie is doing and heavily censor her work and stuff like that. I think that's going to be something going forward. Either that, or maybe she has beef or had beef with her uncle. Is her uncle still in the picture? I'm guessing the father's dead. So I'm a little curious about the backstory of Pamela, and she's definitely playing the part of the cool, detached politician in the way she speaks, especially at the end. So I'm liking the Pamela character, and I do like how we have somebody dressed as Mercer here, and as part of her Halloween costume. So I like that the Mercer's like a celebrity in this world. That's cool to me, and she's giving out lottery tickets, and her over-the-top reaction and how everybody's like super excited. It does feel like such a dichotomy between our cast. So, and then we have I like this little Gabriel scene here, and Gabriel offers to take care of the baby while she's in training, and while Rosita's in training rather. And this shot is them discussing how weird it is that they have to worry about money and stuff, and just dealing with how weird it is to go from the outside world to this. And now we have Halloween costume where they're dressing as a tiger. I really like this scene where Ezekiel gives up Shiva's, collar, I guess, or something, and gives it up to the child and all that. So it's a nice scene. And, of course, Ezekiel's taking care of animals because he was a zookeeper before. Now, I would be curious for the show to explore, one of the holes in the comic to me is like, well, what if somebody just made up a story? And now, of course, they ask a lot of follow-up questions, but what if somebody just said, oh, yeah, I was totally, a famous chef or something, and they really were just like a cook? Or, what if somebody just made something up like that, and how we deal with that. Now, we might get there with Eleanor's brother. We'll get back to that, though. So we got Carol. I really like this dynamic where Ezekiel needs surgery, but he's, low on the list, and there's a lot of people who need surgery before him, so there's a good chance he might not get the surgery in time. So she's just trying to find out more. She pickpockets keys off of somebody by running into them. I really like that. And now here we got Carol talking to Eleanor's brother. And Eleanor's brother is willing to help and stuff. Now, what I'm confused about is, Eleanor's brother seemed to have such an issue with being a doctor. Like, he didn't want to be a doctor. And we saw him get arrested before. But we see nothing in this episode as to why he's so reluctant. Especially since we're going for the class system angle. That there's a hierarchy. Like, why would he not want to be in the higher class? Is he oppressed in some way? Is he forced to work like 18-hour days or something? Or what is it that makes it so he doesn't want to be... my instinct was, oh, maybe somebody, gets hurt under his care and he has to, take a responsibility for it. And maybe doctors are, maybe it's not really that great to be a doctor. But anyways, we're taking too long, so we're going to speed through a little bit here. But I really like this training scene. Of course, they have to write in zombies into this episode, so we have a training scene, and it's a team-building exercise. I like how Daryl goes lone wolf, and his partner can't take care of himself, and Rosita's working with this guy here. So there's that dichotomy of, Daryl's used to working with people that he can just leave on their own, and they can take care of themselves and stuff. So that was really cool. I like that training dynamic. I will say, we got Judith's friend here. Judith's friend just feels so phony to me. I mean, maybe that's like the point, is she's just like really over the top. And I don't know. I didn't like her friend. Maybe that's just me. But Princess working the record store is cool. And then we got this other plot line where Carol sees Lance trying to find wine for Pamela, and Pamela's like, this wine's not good enough. He drops the wine in the trash. Carol digs it out and sees what's going on, and then she follows the clues she finds a way out of the Commonwealth, which we don't cover, which I find interesting that we don't see that. But she finds this wine store and deals with a zombie in there, and I like Carol playing the subterfuge angle, trying to get something for Ezekiel, and I like, her playing the system and all that. So, that's all really cool. And then we got this little shithead here, Milton's son, who he's part of this political dynasty as well. So I like the arrogance and all of that. It really plays off here. He's, just toying with weapons like they're toys, and he just really doesn't know what he's doing. Daryl intervenes and kills a zombie. And, of course, he doesn't like that. He takes that as a slight, even though he might have literally died. So, if Daryl didn't do anything, he would have been blamed for it. But he goes off on Daryl, but then Pamela happens to pass by, and she looks at him, like, in such a belittling way, like, she like, has no respect for him. So I like that. I like that dynamic. And then we got, Daryl's living quarters, and it's not really a great apartment. I don't know what this is on the wall. So there's some things here I'm just like, what is that? But there's somebody playing loud music, and he's got this Tupperware, got the food, and the kids say that they like it here. So they must like, not the apartment itself, but other things. So yeah, I thought it would have been maybe more interesting if maybe one of them actually does want to go back, and one of them doesn't. I don't know. That's just a little thing. And then we got Carol bringing the wine in here and trying to play the angles. And I feel like Lance is just going to take advantage of her and not really necessarily do what she wants him to do. So, we'll see. And then we get this gala thing, and I love this. It just wearing the masks and the whole, exclusionary thing where only certain types of people are allowed in here. And of course we got Eleanor's brother. See, he's like an upper class member of society now. He says it's not really my scene. And to me that's just like, oh, he's antisocial or whatever, which, I get that, being introverted and all that. I get it. But, like, at the same time, what did he lose by becoming a doctor? A, he actually gets to help people. B, he gets to be a part of upper class society. C, he's probably making more money, he can do more stuff, buy more things. What is the downside of him being a doctor that he was so scared of? I don't understand it. And maybe we'll get into that. And but anyways, I like that he lied and played the system and lied about his whole profession from before. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel. I don't, at this point, I don't like this character. Just because he had all this ability to help people as a doctor, and he didn't do it because, why? Because he's lazy? Because, see, I just don't understand it. Maybe there's a good reason for it. I would have to see that, I would have to see some negative consequence of him being a doctor, or some negative effect it has on people he cares about. I don't know. At this point, I don't like this character. So that's just my opinion on it. I like how we're using this train set. And here we got, Milton's son doing a demeaning thing to Daryl and giving him a hate stare. And I like that. And then we got Lance pulling up, and Lance thinks everybody's clapping for him, and then they're actually clapping for Mercer because he's a celebrity, as we already covered. So I really like that. And Princess ends up hitting on him. So they're kind of doing the relationship from the comic, which I like. I like that relationship in the comics. So it's cool to see it here on TV. So that's cool. And now we got, Pamela talking to Connie. And like I said, she has to remember who Connie is. And that's another thing, like with Connie being the whole, being a journalist and stuff. I'm like, how did she, I guess, was Kelly with her at all times? I'm like, how did she really interview people? Because she needs, somebody signing for her to understand. Maybe they were just a duo. Maybe they did everything together. That would make sense. I'm just like, how did she really do her job before if she, can't hear stuff? I don't know. She's not like, I guess she can lip read to an extent, but she still has Kelly there. So, I don't know. I'm probably just overthinking it. I like Princess in the Crown, by the way. That's super cool. But yeah, I like how we have this, speech here and unveiling the, former president's, her father's portrait and stuff, and trying to use that dynasty to her advantage. And we have, a confrontation scene here. This guy we saw in the season 10 bonus episodes, and I appreciate that they explicitly in dialogue are like, this guy looks familiar. Oh yeah, because I kicked his ass. Like, yeah, that was very helpful to me, honestly, because I was like, that was my reaction as well. I was like, I recognize this guy, I just don't remember where, because I try to purge those episodes from my mind. So, but yeah, apparently he made a mistake by letting himself get beat up by Princess. I have my criticisms of that episode, but we're not going to get into that. He got beat up by Princess, and now he's taking matters into his own hands. He infiltrated the wait staff. He wasn't supposed to be there, and now he's, has a grudge against the president, or the governor, rather, and we learned that this is a person named Max. This is not, in fact, Stephanie, but we already knew that. It's not really, it's not a surprise to us. But now we know for a fact it's not Stephanie. So, I like this whole rebellion angle that we're setting up. It was in the comic as well, but I think we're going to go a little deeper here. So I'm really curious to see where we go. But we have this confrontation here. Everybody's trying to stop him. And then he runs into, of course, we got to use this haunted house set again. And Daryl chases him in here. Now, I really love what Daryl says to him here. Daryl talks him down because he's threatening Daryl, and then he threatens to... Well, it's not so much a threat, it's just like he's going to kill himself. Daryl says the guy has a sister he's trying to help, and that's why he feels so down, like he can't help his sister in his current position. He lost his job and stuff. Daryl says, most of us don't get to have families now. Don't take that away from her. And that's like such an amazing sentiment, and that's... I really like that part, so it's probably my favorite part of the episode, to be honest. And then Daryl lets the Milton guy, to get in his favor, he lets him say that he captured this guy. But Daryl, there's a knowing look that Daryl gives to Mercer, where Mercer knows that it was Daryl who got the guy. So I like that part as well. And then they question, like, is it really? Are there really thousands of people? Because the guy, when he's getting arrested, says, "Oh, there's thousands more of us." And they're like, "Is it really? Is it really thousands?" And that's what we're gonna find out. And now we're setting up. Lance goes out to talk to Carol. The wine went over well, but he wants her to do something else. So that all makes sense. And now Rosita is supposed to interrogate Magna. Now here's my thing with Magna. The Magna character, I feel like they haven't really known what to do with her this season. My issue with the Magna character here is that we found out in Alexandria, when she joined Alexandria, that she was in prison. She has prison tattoos and all that. Let me see if I can get a better... Yeah, because she's cut off there. But anyways, so Magna, it was a big issue in Alexandria that, Michonne was like, she's a security risk and all that. So Magna coming to Alexandria, they're finding out that she was in prison. That was a big issue. You really think that they wouldn't find that out in the investigation, interrogation process? They would have found the tattoos. They would have asked her that. Now, she could have lied about it, but, presumably they have some records or something. The governor is very connected. I feel like they have some government database of, people who are arrested and stuff, and can do background checks to a certain extent. I feel like she wouldn't be able to keep that secret. So how is it not an issue that she was in jail and then she's let in as a waitress, which she was before? How do they let her into this gala? I don't know. It just feels a little out of place to me that she would be here, given her criminal history. But that's, it's a small nitpick, really. But that's just how I feel about it at this moment. I get that they wanted her here so that she can take a look at Eleanor. Is that her name? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Anyways, her former lover, and I wonder if they're going to end up getting back together at some point. But yeah, they're having beef right now. And then we get this scene with Ezekiel and Carol, and, in my gut, I was like, is this scene really necessary? But after watching it all the way through, I really think that it is. It's the most cathartic scene in the whole episode, because this is like a storyline that has gone on for a long time. I mean, Carol, they lost Harry, and she's been struggling with that, and now they've found a new beginning. Ezekiel gives her a box of stuff from their former adopted son that they were raising together, and that's his death is what separated them. And I like that. They're coming together now, and she has a wine bottle. Just a really great scene. So I really appreciate it. And we need that connection between them if the whole Carol trying to get him surgery thing is going to be a thing. Like, there has to be that connection there. But we end off the episode on a very interesting note. Of course, we got Daryl in the Stormtrooper outfit, which I enjoy. But is Daryl in this scene? I was curious why we saw that directly before this, and we didn't seem to see him in this scene at all. But we're getting them breaching, presumably it's the guy's house, or apartment rather, that he, the guy who was, arrested at the gala. And they find a hidden room. Rosita finds a hidden room with a bunch of stencils and a bunch of resist the Commonwealth stuff in the background. So, she finds this hidden room, which part of me is like, how would he have this hidden room in a place like this, He cut a hole in the wall, but how did he know why would there be this room back here? Or did he build the closet? I don't know. So it's a fun idea, but I'm just like logically, I don't know. But yeah, so we get, she does a good job acting here, the surprise. and maybe there is more to this rebellion after all. So I love this ending. I love what we're setting up. I only had a couple minor real criticisms to say here. Mostly I'm just praising this episode. This episode was great. I'm really excited to see where we go from here. And yeah, this part 2 has been amazing so far. First 2 episodes, really good. So, and you could see my back catalog of how critical I was of part 1. So you guys know that I say it how I see it. And that's what I'm seeing right now, is I'm really enjoying this. This Commonwealth shit is really awesome. And I'm excited to see where it goes. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit me with the like if you like. If you want to see more Walking Dead content, hit me with that sub. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.